Hey y'all, it's y'all favorite cozy girl, Chi the Reality Queen, and I am back again with another episode of Robe Chronicles. Today we'll be talking about Survivor, episode 9. And finally, I think, well, no, I think last episode too, but this was like the first, very low, it wasn't high energy, high intensity, but it was just good old Survivor. I think I really, really enjoyed this episode. We come back from the previous tribal council. Soka is so proud of themselves for getting rid of Brandon. They're like, oh, we're ahead of this thing. Like everybody's 3-3-3. And, now everybody has to, kind of fend for themselves and figure out how they're going to work. Um, Jam Jam is excited because he feels like he's finally gotten rid of everybody who's put his name down. He's like, deuces to y'all. um, Jamie is running around thinking that has this idol, the only real idol left, and it's like, Miss Mama's. Mm-mm. And I actually am thinking like maybe she doesn't have any real friends out there because why hasn't anybody told her? Like almost everybody has had a discussion about real idols and fake idols and what they look like, how they came, the information that came with it. So how is Jamie still under the impression that her idol is real? Like nobody was like, "Hey girl, no, you ain't got it." Everybody's just like, okay. I mean, not many people know, but the people that do know, I think we're aware of other fake idols. So I guess I'm just a little confused, but she still thinks she has one. Um, Everybody is now looking for that idol because they know Danny played it for Franny, and everybody is out there searching. Danny wants to find it. Like, I think Danny is supposed to be like, ooh, I don't know why I can't think of his name. Russell. Ooh, Russell Hantz. I was like, what is his name? I saw his face, but I couldn't think of his name. But I think that's kind of like the character arc that they want for him. Almost like a bully of sorts. I mean, he's not really a bully, but he's kind of mean and not really like cooperative with the team. Because he's like looking on his own. He's like, I have to find it. I have to replace my idol and all that stuff. And then out of nowhere, Heidi ends up finding it. And y'all know how I feel. I've been saying this 2 episodes now. If Heidi comes back to win this game, there will be no one more mad than me. There will be, like, I don't dislike her. Like, I have nothing against her, actually. She's just such a middle, unimportant character to me that if she wins, that it'll piss me off. Like, I don't think she deserves it. Or maybe she does because she keeps doing things that, like, kind of keeps her there. Um, the tribe is sitting around bonding. Carolyn shares her story of being sober for like 13 years. And I noticed that Danny wasn't there. And that's kind of interesting because it seems like he doesn't want to get to know the tribe like that. Or again, like I said, that's how they're portraying him. Like he's not around for the bonding. He doesn't care because the one person he bonded with, Brandon, he had no problem voting out. So it's like he doesn't really believe in those bonds or think that's what this game is about. Um, Carson is talking about being sick again. I'm like, bruh, it's been a few days. Either call the medevac people to get you out of here or get it together, okay? Because I don't want to hear you sick no more. Like, and I'm almost, maybe he's looking for sympathy. Maybe he wants people to think that he's sick. Like it's a gameplay move. Like, oh, if they think I'm weak and I'm sick, then they won't see me as a threat. Like they'll keep me around. Granted, he does not say that in his confessional, but I'm thinking maybe that's a thought that he's having on the topic because, who knows? Then they get tree mail talking about at their competition, I say competition, whatever, that there will be negotiations for rice because they're all hungry, right? Some of them had I think this is the problem. Maybe because it's only 26 days, Jeff don't want to give them all a merge feast, so some people are always suffering. If you lose in the beginning, you lose your flint. So there are people who have not eaten since like maybe day 3, day 4, or eating like good complete meal. So, and they don't get rice this time around. They don't get beans. They don't get nothing. So, they're hungry. They feel famished. Like they have to protect themselves or eat or something. And so, Jeff offers that negotiation. So, they're all talking, and Danny is like, I think it's disgusting that people want to sit out for food. You knew what you were coming here to do. So if you can't make it the 26 days or whatever without eating, then, it's not good or whatever. I'm like, they should vote him out. I literally was listening to him talk and was like, yeah, he gotta go. If I was there, I'd have been there listening to him like, yeah, he's got to go. He has to go. We don't need this type of negativity in this camp. This is negative and I don't want it. Somebody who wants me to start for 26 days when we don't have to, you gotta go. Bye. I was just like, I don't like Danny. Like, I kind of also understand what he's saying. Like, why would you do it? But I'm like, it's just part of the game as well. Like, he's trying to make it seem like negotiating and bartering for rice is like a cop out or a whatever. But honestly, it's a part of Survivor. We have seen it. People have bartered for rice. They've bartered for, different things. And so, I mean, the great Angelina tried to barter for rice. And I'm like, this is just kind of what Survivor does now. So it's crazy to me that he tried to put it down on another level or below, when in reality, one, people started out with rice and then they would run out and then they would barter or whatever, or people dumped their rice into fires. What was that girl's name? Taya? I can't even remember her name, but I loved her. She got so mad she went and started jumping the rice into fire because she thought she was going home. That still makes me laugh. I love that girl. Very smart, but I don't know what was wrong with her. Could not get it together. But yeah, so I don't like Danny's view on that being like a weak person's cop out, because I'm like, I think they've been doing this long enough that bartering for rice is kind of normal now. But either way, Carson is starving and he's like, I'm ready to about sit out and I want other people to sit out with me. So they go to the immunity challenge, and the immunity challenge is they have to hold up a ball up against a small piece of wood while standing on a small piece of wood while holding the ball up with like a rolling pin, or it looks like a rolling pin, but it's like a piece of wood. So there's a lot of wood in this challenge. And basically at the beginning, Jeff's like, does anybody want to negotiate? And Carson was like, I'll sit out, and everybody's going back and forth in their mind. And, everybody's thinking about, Lauren was like, I'm hungry. She hasn't eaten, I don't know, since maybe day 4, day 5. She's like, I'll sit out to get some food because, I need it. I think, so Lauren sits out, Carson sits out. I think Jamie is going back and forth. And it's so annoying to me to watch her do this. And she's like, oh, I want to compete. Girl, just compete. Like, don't do this back and forth. Just compete. Why? It's not an agonizing decision. Either you are or you aren't going to sit out. Like, if you think you can win, like, I think the point of it, and I get why people might not want to because they feel like I don't have a choice. But at some point you have to look at the challenge and be like, will I win this challenge? Is this something I believe that I can do? And what do I think is going to happen once I get up there, right? Like, Carolyn was like, I'm not sitting out. I'm doing the challenge. Jam Jam was like, I'm not sitting out. I'm doing the challenge. Now, maybe they don't know if they're going to win or not, or if they're going to whatever, but they made that decision. And so Jamie going back and forth was just so irritating. And then Kane decided to sit out, and like Danny, I think when they got to 3, it was when Danny was like, well, let's just make a pact that whoever sits out, we won't vote out tonight. And everybody's like, yeah, I promise, Jam, Carolyn. Everybody's like, we're not going to do it, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, for those of you who are competing, you're basically saying, I'm willing to go home because I competed. I don't think so. But that's what Danny says. And it doesn't sound believable, but they say it. And then Heidi finally is like, oh, fine, I'll sit out. So they finally get their 4. So they're going to be guaranteed rice. Franny, Carolyn, Jam, Danny, and Jamie are competing. I suspected it, but Carolyn is out first, which I was like, duh. I don't know why. She seems too antsy to me to like sit still and hold herself in that position for however long it would take. Jamie is out second. Like, girl, you did all that agonizing and you was out about as quick as Carolyn. You should have sat out. And then Jam Jam was out next. And then it was between Danny and Franny. And I think Danny was like, okay, yes, this is it. My time to shine. You know, all these losers decided to sit out and it's just me against Franny. So I'm definitely going to beat her because he sees himself as this like big, buff, tough guy. I don't see it, but he sees it. And that's really all that matters. But he was, you know, I think in his mind, he was sure of it. And you know, it's going on for a long time. Both of them are kind of like slipping, but catching it back and all this stuff. And Danny eventually falls and Franny wins her second individual immunity. I was like, whoa, Franny is low-key a lot tougher than I would have guessed her to be when I first started watching this. Like, I don't think I thought she was like a tough person. Maybe because she was linked with that nerd, Matt. But she's way tougher and stronger and harder working than I think I would have ever imagined. And I kind of like that about her. I don't know if I want her to win. Like, I don't know if in my mind that's who I want to see as a winner, but I definitely admire how good she actually is at Survivor. I feel like a lot of these new school players haven't really impressed me. And I say that from my couch, as you guys can see, like from my chair. I'm not playing Survivor, it doesn't matter. But like, I just remember people like, you know, Parv and, you know, Parvati was kind of badass. Amanda, Ozzy, you know, I'm trying to think of other names, but my mind is kind of blank right now. But like some of these women and some of these men were so awesome in these challenges that it was really challenges, right? Like watching them stick it out and stick it through to win was like, wow, you're amazing because you ain't ate in about 10 days. Like, you know, so Franny is kind of giving me that spirit of I'm gonna get this done and I'm gonna win, and I like that about her. But like I said, I don't know if my like is enough to want her to win, but I definitely like that about her and I see it and I love it. So Franny wins. Danny is once again upset after losing. Like, he is not a good loser. Like, oh God, his attitude is always very poor when he loses. So now they go to talk about who they want out. Soka and Franny realize, Franny was part of Soka, but they realize that Tika is kind of playing the middle. And they're like, maybe we should get one of the Tika people and team up with Ratu to kind of let them know, like, hey, y'all ain't about to just slide y'all way to the end by staying in the middle. Which is an interesting point because I thought they were going to get away with it because I was like, oh, no one is even seeing how Tika is just able to maneuver both sides. Soka wants to vote out Kane. Ratu wants to split the vote between Danny and Heidi. And, you know, they're both want such different things. And Tika is kind of like, okay, who should we go with? Carolyn is so frustrated because she wants Danny out. And I am so disappointed in how these people treat Carolyn. Like, they do not listen to her, and she is the only person since this show has started that be speaking big facts. Like, when she says stuff, it like makes sense. And Danny leaving, he's like controlling everything. And everybody's over here like, no, I want Kane out. Carson and Jam Jam are like, Kane is a much bigger threat. Kane ain't did nothing. He's been on the wrong side of the vote since he's been here. Like, what about Kane seems like a threat? People like him? Like, who cares if people like you if you can't win nothing? So I'm like, I don't know why they see Kane as such a big threat, Jam Jam and Carson, but they were like, oh, we want him gone. And Carolyn is sitting there like, oh, like just so frustrated. Like, please, let's vote out Danny. Let's get him gone. He is a threat. He is a problem. Like, first of all, we just watched him almost win 2 immunity challenges back to back. why aren't you more concerned about this person? You should be way more concerned about this person than Kane, who sits out or has been dropped and is on the wrong end of these votes. So to me, I think Carolyn is the only person that is like thinking clearly. But for some reason, everybody, including Jam Jam, who likes her, treats her as if she can't come up with like a rational or good quality thought. Like they treat her like, girl, you're not thinking, you're not seeing this properly. And it's like, no, baby, she's the only person seeing this properly and thinking things through. Y'all are the ones who aren't. And like I said, I guess we don't know, like they don't see everything like we do, the viewers, but how is Carolyn seeing it and seeing these problems and y'all just ignoring her? It's actually starting to piss me off because this is at least the 4th episode that they have done that to her and try to shut her down. Both Carson, Jam Jam, and almost anybody who speaks to her tries to shut her down and make her believe that she doesn't know what she's talking about. Jam Jam wants to work with Soka. It's just annoying. I'm just like, Tika, y'all about to get yourselves messed up because Danny and Franny is a bad combination. Like Danny is sneaky, but Franny is smart. So it's like the two of them will get every one of y'all out and then it'll just be the two of them. They go to tribal council. Everybody's talking. Everything is seemingly going well until I believe maybe Jamie or someone whispers something to Kane. And then all of a sudden, everybody's whispering, talking, trying to confirm their vote. You can even hear, I don't know if they are letting us hear the actual words because, you know, they're whispering, but it sounds like everybody's like, Danny, right? We're sticking to the plan. It's still Danny. It's this, it's that. And so you're over here thinking like, okay, well, no one's talking to Danny yet, so maybe it is him. But then Franny leads over and tells him something. And then it's like, okay, what is really going on? Like, why y'all whispering? I mean, just stick to whatever plan you had. I feel like Jamie is such a nervous Nelly that you can't work with her. Like, I thought Carolyn was that person, but it seems that Jamie is much worse in this situation than she is. But ultimately, they sit down. Oh, I forgot to mention, before they went to tribal council, everybody was afraid of advantages. So Lauren gave her extra vote to Heidi to use, and Jamie gave her idol to Kane to hold on to so they don't take it from her because people know about her idol. And so, because people were afraid of a knowledge is power advantage. So this is how they went to tribal council, right? So when they get to tribal council, they start the votes. Danny gets 1 vote. Heidi gets 3 votes. Jamie gets 1 vote. And Kane is voted out with 5 votes. And I kid you not, this was the most frustrating thing ever because Kane, yes, he probably would have become a problem, but not this soon. And I just wish and I hope in coming episodes and going further that people really start to listen to Carolyn because she really be the only person that knows what's going on. I don't know how she has this foresight, but she be knowing. And people need to trust her and trust her word. And like I said, it's starting to piss me off that they not. So hopefully we go into episode 10 and people are finally listening to Carolyn. So you know what? Please like, comment, subscribe, share your thoughts. Let me know what you think about these characters, what y'all think about Carolyn. Do you feel the same way that she's the only person seeing what's going on and people are just ignoring her? Like, I just feel, oh, it's pissing me off. So see you guys next time. Bye.